So raise your glass, even though he's not the best, but at least he made the top 5.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Lanai Gossip. Commissioner number 5 here. Co-hosting today is Dennis. Thank you, Dennis. And we're going to talk about dragon boating. And we snagged Colleen and Toni from the Silver Dragons.
Yes.
Tell us about dragon boats. How did you get involved?
Through the Enrichment Academy.
Okay.
So the Enrichment Academy does, as everybody, if you live in the villages, there's the academy, the catalog comes out and there's all these things you can try, right? So in the sports and rec section, there's dragon boating. So I had never heard of it.
Neither have I.
And so I said, well, I'm going to give it a whirl. So I went to the class, got on the water, loved it. So you come and you do an hour in the classroom, and then we stick you on a lake twice. We put you on Lake Miona, and then we put you on Lake Sumter. So you can get a feel, you're not going to be an expert, but at least you can figure if you like it or want to like it, and if you're okay being on the water, because some people aren't.
Okay. So. And Toni, same with you? You went to the Enrichment Academy?
No, actually, my neighbor, Anne Marie,
Okay.
she got me involved in it. And I've just got hooked on it since then. It's really a fun sport. A lot of great people that are doing it on the team. And she says, give it a try. So I went out and tried with her. And, it was definitely a workout.
So you went right out there, got in the boat and just started paddling.
Right.
If they didn't want to go to the Enrichment Academy, how would they actually start?
I always have a handful of cards in my purse.
Okay.
But there is the Grand Masters Dragon Boat Club of the Villages, which is the umbrella we fall under. And there are 10 teams currently in the villages, different level of competitiveness, involvement, how hard you want to go kind of deal, right? But there's a website, and so you can go to the website, and it gives you contact information for all those teams. So you can kind of read their description and what they're about, how often do they practice,
Sure.
do the days meet with your schedule. You get them to come, and it's a commitment. For some teams like us, we like 3 practices a week, right? Because we race, so you got to get ready for that. And for new villagers, it isn't always... I don't have the time for that, or I don't know what I'm going to do. So at least they get a taste of it. But you can always visit the website, and you can look at the teams and see if one fits for you.
Toni, now, so you went there one time and you said, yeah, I like it, or?
Now, your first time you go as a guest. And if you like it, you get 2 more days to go back and see if you really like it. And I did that. So it was a total of 3 times out on the water. And I stuck with it. They invited me to stay, and I've been there ever since.
So if I'm interested in dragon boating, and so I can go to somebody and go, hey, interested in dragon boating, don't know a lot about it. Will you guys kind of put me will you test me out, evaluate me to see where I'm at, and then place me on a team accordingly? Or?
Yeah, we're not, if you were to come and show up and come on over, we bring you on over. We're not going to put you in a lead seat, to start your day. We're probably going to put you more towards the back of the boat. You're going to be near the steerer who can give you instruction, and you'll probably be seated next to someone who hopefully knows what they're doing, and so be able to give you instruction on how to paddle and give you a sense of what's going on, because you're not going to master it in one day on a boat. It just doesn't happen that way.
But in terms of the
Getting
team
involved.
selections within the villages,
For sure. Yeah.
Will I be placed on a team, or do I choose what team?
No, you kind of choose, and if you come to us, which I think you already asked, you come to us, we'll put you on the boat, and if we like what we see and you like it, we may invite you back for a guest paddle, and we'll see what you got. There's different divisions when you go to festivals, and like we generally fall in the 50 plus category because of the age.
Generally. Have you ever not?
No.
Well, I will say that we've gone to some festivals, and we're on the upper end of that age bracket of 50, and there are a lot of 50-year-olds, and it's a little demoralizing to a vote of 50-year-olds. But anyway.
Are all these teams competitive, or?
No.
Okay.
No, there are some that there's a seasonal dragon boat team in the villages that you if you're not here all the time, you can just come and paddle, and they do it just basically for fun and exercise. There are other teams that maybe only want to do 1 race or 2 a season, and then there's other teams like maybe the Black Hearts or whatever who are really gung ho racers and they want to get out there and do it.
Okay.
We have
Does it
bought our
cost
boats.
money to be in this club?
You pay a $20 a year membership fee. And then each team sometimes has dues. We do. And that pays for our rowing fees. So it basically pays for any kind of storage. Like at Lake Miona, we have to pay to have them stay there.
Give us some of the rules. It has to be 20 people in a boat.
No, there's a 10 and 20 man boat.
Oh,
You can do
okay.
that. We have a 10 man boats.
The
in
Silver
villages.
Dragons have a 10 and a 20?
We share boats. So
Oh,
under
you
the
share
umbrella of the Grand Masters Dragon Boat Club, I believe we have 8 boats.
Now, are all teams looking for people to join? Are you full? Does it say full on the website?
No, it does not say full on the website. I will say that probably pretty much all the competitive teams that list on the list are probably looking for some folks, particularly men. Men are hard to come by.
Who paints the dragon on the front there? Can you guys change the color of it at all? You
No,
guys
they
fight
kind of
about
come that way. And those are heads and tails. So each boat has a head,
Yeah.
only on race days. So
Oh, you don't have it on
sometimes
training days?
Yeah, sometimes when we're getting ready to go to a big
put it
festival,
on?
if we're training, we'll put the head and the tail on. We'll put the drummer in, and so because there's a drummer at the front of the boat during
Oh.
races, that's a requirement. You have to have one usually for almost all festivals.
Is that one of the 20 or is that 20?
That's a 20. That's 21, and then you're
Okay, then you got a shouter, right?
That's your steerer. Yeah.
When you say a drummer, does he actually have a drum?
Yep.
Is that for tempo or what's that for?
Like the drum you think like this.
No.
Yeah. You
have one.
It's exactly that. It's tempo. It's a tempo thing. It's like when the race starts and the lead paddlers get into their pace for the race, the drummer picks up that pace so you can keep up.
Now, the Silver Dragons, you said they practice 3 times a week.
We do.
Yep.
Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
And you kind of said you almost have to be
We're-
in the Silver Dragons.
would like-
you would have to drop down if you weren't that serious.
Yeah, there are some clubs that don't practice as much, but when we get to race season, we like to see 3 practices a week.
Okay, Tony, you went there with just an open mind. You liked it. What kind of equipment did you have to buy after that? What's required of you?
You have to have a paddle. And
So you have to buy your own paddle.
yes.
Yep, one right there. Yep.
Okay.
One right here.
This is your paddle?
Now this is
It's
Colleen's
mine.
paddle.
Oh.
It's a pretty paddle.
This is a very decorative one.
If you turn it over, it's got the cracking on it.
What's something like this cost?
This one was like 150, but they go up to 200 and they're over 250 now. And some, if you go,
So that's your biggest expense.
yeah, this is your seat pad, which
Okay.
not everybody uses them. I mean, because remember the board you're sitting on the boat is what, maybe 4 to 6 inches wide, if that. And so
I need a bigger one.
I was going to say, I need a thicker pad.
that would.
you usually buy, yeah.
This is the dragon boats.
Are
style.
they?
Yeah.
So
I
they're.
use the one that you kneel on to do the gardening with.
Oh yeah, something like that.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few that have gotten those, that, because,
They're thicker.
yeah, they're thicker. It's a lot
So-
easier on the bottom because just that little piece of wood,
Sure, yeah.
your hip and stuff, with the boat.
Is it actually you're going like this, or is it fixed so you're just
Yeah.
like
No,
a rowing machine?
You're thinking like crew and rowing.
Yeah.
It's a different stroke altogether.
So you're actually 2 hands on the
Right.
paddle,
One on the
and you,
top.
Two of us
Yep, and
sitting
you're-
side by side.
Yep. And you have to stay out of each other's way
Are
as
you-
well as the people in front of you and behind you.
And you're straight. You're not like offset.
No, you're right across from each other. Memory,
Are
right?
you listening to the drummer? I mean,
Well,
do you have to
I
listen
do.
to that drummer?
I do when we race. I kind of do because you're not.
Well, you don't want to be out of sync.
Well, you don't want to be out of sync, and depending on where you're sitting in the boat, if you're on a mixed boat, off in the middle of the boat is the engine room. That's what they call the engine room. That's where all your big, usually your powerful, stronger paddlers might be. And sometimes it's guys, and you can't see the front of the
and I
paddle.
would think as you're going to get tired as it goes on. I mean, I'd want to focus on something because otherwise, as I get tired, my mind
start
starts
to
going
wander.
all over the place.
You really do get in sync with when you're paddling. It just all comes natural. Once
It
you
does.
get going, you're looking straight, not straight. You're looking to the whatever side you're on up ahead,
Yep.
as far as you can see, and you're watching that person's arms and hands going as you're paddling.
You should be doing the same. Yeah.
To me, I enjoy it because even though I'm keeping count, I'm enjoying the ride on the water, and I like being on the water.
Your muscles aren't burning during a race.
Well, by the end, then if you've given it everything you can in a 500-meter race,
Yeah.
by the end, you bet you they are.
And is that generally the length of a race is 500 meters? It varies, or
It varies.
are teams assigned to either Sumter or Miona? Or
No,
do
no,
you
that's
guys
just
mix
where we
around?
have water time. There's a schedule. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have to get wet?
What's your answer is on that? Why and
It's
why,
a water
Tony?
Well-
It's a water sport.
I know that, but what can't I just get in the boat and you guys get me in the water and then you guys get in and
All right, so yeah, so what happens is that we show up at Lake Miona, okay,
Yeah.
is a good example. We take the boats out, we uncover them. We have to get our feet wet in the water to get them into the water, push it to the dock. So then the team gets on the dock and we board the boat
okay.
from the dock.
Do you give a swim test before you
No.
can?
Yeah, but you do have to.
Talk about this then.
Yeah.
Tony, what's this?
That is Colleen's.
It's my
Whatever.
personal flotation device, your PFD.
Calls me out of my own show. Scott, it's not mine. I'm sorry, she won't talk about it.
Use that one, so
Doesn't happen often enough.
No.
I can tell you with
Does it explode?
No, what happens is that okay, so see this?
You pull that.
You pull it hard and then there's one that automatically hits the water and you don't have to pull anything
Oh.
and it goes off. For
Is
water
everyone
safety.
required to wear a
Yes.
flotation device?
In the villages, it's a requirement to get out on the water. Not all festivals, it's not a requirement. Some it is. It depends on where you go.
If you got a light crew or a heavy crew, you have to be a certain weight. I know if like you race horses and you're too light, they make you wear a weighted vest.
Vest, so you're heavy, and then you don't want
You
to be
guys
too
have
heavy.
to put weights in there
No.
or nobody? You could
Nope.
be a light team or a heavier team or a stronger team. It doesn't matter.
How about the distribution in the boat? I mean,
Oh, that's a big job that I don't want to have. It's hard because you need to balance the boat, and ideally, in 10-man boats, it's even trickier. You want to have it within 5 pounds. And then once you get to a 20-man, there's a little more leeway, but you want to have it as balanced as possible.
And can you tell when you guys are practicing or just that the boat's not
Yep.
pound white? You can tell that, okay, that's
you're leaning closer to one side.
Yep. Sometimes you're sliding.
when the dragon head's facing the sky.
somebody partied too much that weekend or something. And
Well,
well, thank you, Colleen.
thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, lady.
You guys did a great.
Thanks to him, we've got the best league to play in. It's not a boast, just a toast to number